Real talk, real people, relevant conversations. The I Am Kiana Skills podcast is dedicated to real conversations about issues, emotions, and experiences that affects the lives of everyday people.
I know that's right.
Welcome to the I Am Kiana Skills podcast. Welcome to the I Am Kiana Skills podcast. Big ups to our sponsor, the Closet Spence Boutique, your go-to spot for the hottest fashions. Hit up theclosetspence.com and use code podcast. That's PODCAST for 10% off. Theclosetspence.com. What's in your closet? I'm your host, Kiana Skills, and I have my girl, Keita, with me today.
Hey, listener land.
Hey, girl, hey. Life is too short to be surrounded by chaos and drama, baby. For some people, it's their fuel to thrive. Dysfunctional individuals may seem like a whirlwind, but behind their stormy facade lies a deeper need for attention and control. Are you tired of getting caught up in unnecessary drama and chaotic situations? It's time to learn how to navigate, Keita, through the storm and rise above the chaos.
No more drama, like Mary J. Blige said.
Don't let others drag you down and get you tangled up in their messy battles, baby. Woo, Keita, girl, we gonna help some people out today. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. You ready to help the people help the people?
Oh, yeah. We're going to make it do what it do, honey.
So have you ever found yourself wondering about those people who just seem to attract drama no matter where they go?
Girl, unfortunately, I got one or two friends like that. And every time I talk to them, they in some kind of drama or some kind of mess going on.
Ooh, child, it's a curious phenomenon, isn't it?
Girl, yes.
Today, let's delve into the topic of individuals who always seem to be the ones stirring up some kind of trouble, baby. And we're not talking about positive, uplifting things here. We're talking about those people that Michael Jackson sang about in his hit song, Wanna Be Startin Somethin. Let's explore what it is about these individuals that make them so prone to creating drama and chaos around them.
Drama, 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 honey.
Woo, child. Girl, because you know something? They find, if you ever found yourself wondering why certain people always tend to find themselves in the middle of chaos and drama. Go ahead.
Yeah, some could be like a little drama magnets, but once again, I see when things come up, some people kind of draw that energy to themselves because they like being in the middle of stuff all the time.
Girl, what you said. You know what? It's fascinating to think about how some individuals attract trouble and dysfunctions. Like you were saying, attracting. Girl, that's like mouse to a flame if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
While others seem to have a knack for avoiding it altogether, baby.
Honey, that's me. I'm trying to avoid it.
Yeah.
Dodge it like the plague, honey.
Woo, dodge it, baby girl. Dodge it like you're playing dodgeball. Those people are what I call or considered or known as trolls or drama queens. They start crap because they have low self-esteem, unhappy lives, and I just call them right down childish.
Or they don't have no life at all. That's why they create drama so they can have something going on.
Ooh, what you said. And for some, the reason nitpicking is because they just want to feel better about themselves, or they just straight up lonely and like you said, have lonely, miserable lives.
Mm-hmm.
These are the type of people that will comment on your social media posts and deliberately be argumentative and confrontational and nasty. Whoo, honey.
It can be one of the most positive stories, and it'll be somebody in the comments with the bull.
Right, it's
saying
always
something crazy.
Saying something crazy just to be combative for no reason at all. Like, girl, go get your life. Or boy, go get your life.
Exactly. Makes no sense.
No sense whatsoever. They just have nothing to do with their time. They just like harassing others. I just can't stand people like that. It's just too much.
Right. Like you said earlier, they're just trolls looking for something.
I still think it's a personality flaw.
Oh, it is for some. Some just don't know how to think positive or how to accept when positive come. They always just looking for what negative so they can get them a pity party or some drama going.
Right. Baby, listen to land. Those Twitter fingers really be the gateway to foolery and borderline bullying. Do y'all hear
Right.
me? Y'all don't hear me out there listening to land. It's becoming borderline bullying, if you ask me.
It is for some.
So, Keita, do you believe people purposely provoke conflicts or if they are simply lack the sensitivity to handle situations tactfully?
I think it could be a little bit of both. For some, they like just to have something to say so they can make a comment and then log off right quick and not look at the consequences or see. Some, just depending on their background and their experiences, is what they're used to. They're used to just always hearing something negative in their ear. So whenever they talk, that's what the first thing to come out their mouth is something negative. So some of it just depends on the person or how they grew up or what they experienced. And some, you know how they say all the time, hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
So if they going through a thing and they're not happy where they want to be in life, then they want to see that something like that is going on with someone else. That's why reality TV is so popular right now. Seeing all the craziness going on in other people's life make you feel halfway normal.
Right. Girl, they be making me feel normal. But you know what? It's perplexing question that can be difficult to answer. But one thing for sure is that understanding the root cause of these confrontations can help us better understand how to respond more effectively when engaging and confronting confrontation.
Right. We got to learn and help listen and learn how to shut the drama down, honey.
Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. Because you know what? I vividly remember a girl from my childhood who just couldn't seem to function without a bit of chaos. It was always some drama. Whether it was leaving a trail of mess wherever she went or constantly, Keita, engaging in heated debates, she seemed to thrive in disorder.
Unfortunately, it's some people that are really like that. That is how they thrive. It's like they are always looking to be on that, not necessarily high, but the feeling that being in drama gives them that adrenaline. That rush. So some people just like constantly being in that state. So they're always creating situations around them or drawn to situations like that so they can always kind of be in that state. So they can always have that phone call. Girl, guess what happened? Or girl, what you doing? Let me tell you this. Things like that, which is
that sounds just like the childhood friend I'm talking about. She had a habit of being part of the group that indulged in petty gossip and rumors, spreading them all, baby, around and causing tension and conflict among people. It's just petty, baby.
Right, and you see that now going on with certain things on TV. Certain people, if you look on the social media, they always come with the drama stories about who did this to this person and who did this to that person and how they know everybody's business. And I was like, well, what's your business? If you know everybody else's business, what are you doing? How do you know everybody's stuff? And why you ain't getting nowhere and ain't got nothing going on in your life? Well, you got to keep up with everybody else.
Yeah, because you know, them type of people, they don't mind being in other people's business and they don't care about any negative consequences that it may have on the other party that's involved. Like her involvement in this committee of troublemakers is what I like to call them, you know, was well known and had earned her the reputation of being someone not to be trusted. At that point, you get a reputation, girl. You can't trust her. You can't tell her anything. She gonna run, tell it, get it twisted, tangled up, and everything else.
Right, because that breaks down your trust with others. If you're always telling somebody else business and somebody knows not to talk to you because you gonna be with some mess.
Right, you can't even give them people sensitive information because you know it's gonna get back out there.
Or get twisted and turned and be a whole different story by the end of the day.
Yes, because baby, she was the real life messy boots. You know what? But for her and other drama lovers like her, chaos isn't something, you know, that they can really avoid. Instead, it's their fuel, like you were talking about earlier. It just ignites them. It does something. It's like, it's just crazy how that really fuels them. It's what gets them going and keeps them feeling alive. The constant ups and downs, the emotions they crave, all of it.
Like a real life soap opera.
Yes, baby.
Live in effect.
What you said, lights, camera, action, go. They the action, baby. They gonna give you the action and the drama.
Or at least take you to it or bring you to it.
Yeah,
Bring
they
it
gonna
to
bring
you.
it to you. And let's face it, those who frequently encounter drama, I do believe they're grappling with unresolved issues. I think it's got to deal with let's say past trauma, emotional wounds, undressed mental health concerns. I know we like to always throw mental health, but I'm really serious when I say unaddressed mental health concerns. It's really sickening.
Oh, that is so true. Because, like I said, I know a few people, unfortunately, and some of them are. One of them is someone who's has some mental health issues, and so they always tend to put themselves in situations because they're not sometimes in their right mind. So they're in situations where it's always something happening. Sometimes they tend to get hurt because of that. So that's one reason why I try to keep in touch with it and keep them doing something positive so those things don't come about. But also, some people, like I said, depending on what they were raised, if this is all they know and the only kind of environment they're in, they don't know any better because they haven't experienced anything different. So, I mean, not to make excuses for them, but some people are kind of like that because of environment. And then other people, because they had, quote unquote, the good life coming up, or it was, somewhat not much going on. Now that they're grown, they want to stay in the streets and stay where stuff is going on just because they feel like they missed out on something when they were coming up. And I'm like, that ain't cute. We too old to be still dealing with drama and mess and people trying to fight. Come on now.
Because it's some deep rooted unresolved issues that simply just need to be addressed. And like you said, to really, let's just put it like this, just grow up. Some people just have a lot of growing up to do.
So true. I'm reading this book now. It's called The Self-Love Revolution. Shout out to Dr. Aya.
Okay.
But in that book, it kind of talks about some of the reasons why, people struggle or are always dealing with like drama and issues. And it does go back to that root of not having that self-love or that confidence in themselves, or they're not doing that self-care that they need to do and taking care of themselves. And one minor thing that came up, which technically wasn't that minor, they brought up the whole issue of, and this was in another book I'm reading too, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It was just talking about sleep, how the lack of, when people don't get a lot of sleep, how it does things to them mentally, and it causes them to like be irrational or be dramatic and do certain things just because their body's not getting time to rest. So it's lots of reasons why things like this kind of come up and, and happen.
Let's talk about people being tactful. Unfortunately, being tactful is an important quality. I'm trying to tread lightly here because I'm trying to be respectful when I say this, because I really want to say everybody should know how to be tactful, but that's not the case.
Everybody should, but that ain't always the case.
It's unfortunate being tactful. It's just an important quality that not everyone possesses. I'm just going to say that everyone don't possess it. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to put it out there. Tact involves being able to express your point of view without causing offense and embarrassment to the other person.
And that is key. Oh my goodness. Short story to tell. I was at a dinner party a couple of weeks ago for someone's, was it a birthday or anniversary or something? Whatever. Anyway, and one of the guests came in and, usually, when you meet somebody, everybody's like, hey, because we all knew each other. We were all familiar with each other. But then soon as one person comes sit down, the other person come out, hey, I see you with that bull today, and just start cussing them out.
Oh, wow.
And the other person was so caught off guard. They was like, well, I hated you too. And I was like, okay, if you in a room full of people, how do you not realize like this ain't the time? If you got an issue with that person, don't bring it up right now when we trying to celebrate somebody else and give this couple some recognition. Why is you making it about you going after somebody else? It's crazy.
Yeah, because you can point out mistakes, bad plans, and errors, but you should be able to do it in a way that is respectful and constructive.
Right.
Like in that moment, if you had a beef or issue with somebody, that should have been done separate.
Right.
Once the party or wherever you was at, once that was over with, they should have been able to address that then.
Right.
Put them to the side later.
Exactly.
Or at another time. This is not the function for that.
It's not always what you say, it's how you say stuff. You can say stuff and get your point across without being, dramatic and crazy and cussing people out.
Yep. It's just, like I said, everybody don't possess being tactful. It's just something everybody don't possess.
Right.
But baby, you can implement it in your life. Let me tell you this, by using tact, did you know we can help people understand their mistakes without making them feel uncomfortable or defensive?
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
Simple. Being tactful means that you are aware of the emotions, feelings of the other person. It's not about you. It's about the feelings of the other party involved.
Communication is key. Yes. How you communicate your thoughts and ideas and express yourself can make or break a situation. It can help a situation get squared away clearly without drama.
Yep.
Or, depending on how you go about the situation, it could cause more drama and escalate. That's how stuff happens all the time, and people end up fighting or doing stuff to people's cars and doing other things. But that same conversation can be had with two grown adults looking at each other saying, look, I need to tell you about this. This and this happened and I feel this way about it. And I just want to let you know. And you can talk it out.
Yep.
It's always a way.
Because it involves being courteous and understanding even when you're disagreeing with somebody, that there could be an understanding. It's called tactful, what you said, communication. Tactful communication, people. It helps maintain positive relationships and it increases the likelihood that your feedback will be received and acted upon.
Exactly, because when you come with too much, then they're not receiving you. They're just replying off of your energy, and that's how the whole message gets lost. But if you come to somebody with some sense and they can listen to you, then they can really understand what you're trying to say, and your message can come across. And things can get addressed.
Yeah, because it's understandable that there may be confusion about tact and its purpose, but tact is not about concealing the truth or presenting information in a way that's not genuine. But you know what? It's about communicating the truth in a way that's compassionate. Y'all remember that compassionate is key, and it's being considerate towards the other person's feelings. Because it's important to be sincere and honest while being mindful of how the other person may receive the information.
Right. Especially if it's a difficult conversation or it's a difficult topic, you can still handle it in a tactful manner by one, especially if this is a relationship you want to keep or preserve, whether it's a friendship or a relationship with a spouse or a partner. If you really communicate how you feel without getting too emotional and what you want out of the conversation, then most of the time you can get stuff taken care of. But when you come in with like, I got receipts and all the extra, sometimes the message could get lost because then they're listening to reply and not really listening to what you got to say, so the problem can get resolved and you can move further.
Yes, because that tactful communication, it's all about showing empathy towards others and communicating in a way that is respectful and caring. How you gonna be respectful and caring if you talking, I got receipts and you can be this and you can kiss my baby? Ain't nothing tactful about that.
Right.
And you just missed me now. Guess what? You just made me defensive and I'm about ready to box you at this point.
Right. And look at what you've done to the relationship. Now the relationship is in jeopardy, and who knows if you want to salvage that relationship
probably
or not.
Severed it.
Exactly.
I don't know if I would want to rekindle that.
Right.
Because you wasn't tactful. Nothing was tactful communication that you presented with that drama that you came with me with.
That's right. It's all about your energy.
Ooh, yes. Energy is key, baby. It is key. People don't understand about that energy because that energy transfers.
Right. Especially like if I had an issue with you and I come in already doing all that, then you already going to be on the defense. people can communicate with just how they're moving their body. And that's half of the message right there is how you're moving your body and what your body language and all of that before a word even comes out your mouth. So you always have to kind of be mindful, especially like I said, if it's a meaningful relationship that you're trying to salvage or save, just kind of watch those kind of things when you're interacting with others. That way you can really be heard.
Yes, you'll definitely be heard. Like I said, that tone is everything. Because you
All
know
of that.
what? Casual gossip also. We're going to talk about this casual gossip, how it plays a part in picking fights. Like, people don't understand. You might just be casually gossiping about something or somebody. But that's how a lot of fights get started, because that goes into that thin line of that he said, she said. But don't nobody really know who said what, because nobody's owning up
And
to
you
it.
don't know who somebody knows.
Right. But you're always running your mouth in these streets. Keep your mouth off of folks if you're not willing to stand up and say you said it. And I'm not saying that in a way.
Or you weren't right there when it happened and know it's
Right.
facts.
And I'm not saying that in a way that you're going to go out and start a fight. I'm saying it in a way to just keep your mouth off people, because you don't know who people know. And some people don't take lightly of what you're saying about them.
Right. It's so funny. It reminds me of another story, girl. Girl, you remember that time we went to that Mexican restaurant?
Oh, yes.
And we were just sitting there eating our food, and there was another party in it, and they was just talking crazy cash money about somebody. And we was like,
oh, you talking about they were saying that? I actually got up, y'all know.
We know who they talking about. And these was total strangers. We didn't know none of the people at that table, but who they were talking about was somebody we know and was acquainted with. And I was like, wait a minute, are they talking about
and y'all
such and
know
so?
what Kiana did. Y'all know, baby.
Girl.
Keita was like, I know you're not about to go up there. I sure did.
Girl.
I took my happy butt to their table.
Yes, she did.
And said, hey, what y'all doing? What if I told y'all I know who y'all talking about? And I told them who they were talking about. They was like, you know. I said, I sure do. I ain't gonna repeat who they were talking about on this air, but I sure did. I said, you gotta be, and I told them about what we're talking about in this episode. I said, you have to be mindful who you talking about. Like, they didn't know we were in the restaurant. They thought they were in the, because the restaurant was about to close, but we were able to be seated. They couldn't see us because it was a slight partition, so they couldn't see us. But you have to be mindful when you in spaces talking about people. I sure did. And baby, they try to check me on my move, because you know y'all be wearing my little moo-moos. And they sure did. They said, come on, auntie, with your move. I said, I sure do. And you know I strutted my stuff right on off. And I said, well, y'all take care, have fun, drive home safely. But I went over there tactfully and said, I know who y'all talking about. Y'all might want to, not have this conversation in a public space. So you see how they receive it. They just really started asking, like, you know such and such a real. I was like, yeah.
And they was really all in this person's personal
and when I went ahead and
business.
said yes, and gave them all the checklists of how I knew them and what the situations they were talking about, they were just shocked.
Right. So
I was like,
watch what you say.
Because, baby.
Unless you're going to back it up.
Right. And then let me just say, part B to that story is, and to this day, I have not went back and told that person, because it's not my story to tell. What I wanted to get from those individuals is to stop doing that.
Right.
Because what if that could have been a person listening, just came in there, just mad at you in here, saying these, and some of it was god awful things about the person.
Right.
And I was like,
okay. How would they even know they were true unless they was in the bed too? So you know what, you gotta watch.
It was a lot of stuff.
Watch the company you keep and what you say about folks, unless you there.
Right. The song Wanna Be Startin Something. That just reminds me of that song Wanna Be Startin Something by Michael Jackson, baby.
Right, because that's what they show was doing.
Yes, they were starting something. You know what? That song is a powerful and inspiring anthem. Do you think that? Because I do. But yeah. And as I'm thinking about it, it highlights the importance of standing up for oneself in the face of opposition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those lyrics that reference people spreading lies and rumors and creating situations that forces others to struggle. The song emphasizes that facing obstacles in a natural, it's like a natural part of life.
Right, because sometimes we do get caught in the middle.
Yep, because you know what? That song references Billie Jean, a character who constantly spreads lies and rumors to mislead others. When Michael said, Billie Jean is always talking when nobody else is talking, telling lies. And I think it was rubbing shoulders. I'm trying to remember the lyrics, y'all. Rubbing shoulders, so they call her Mouth the motor. I think is that how the lyrics went.
Girl, why I been saying the wrong lyrics all this time?
What you saying?
I'm not gonna do that. Go ahead.
Because I want to say, and they was rubbing.
So yeah, I didn't know the lyrics.
I don't know what you thought the lyrics was.
No, something totally different.
I thought it was rubbing shoulders. So you don't have to know a fact check. Rubbing shoulders, so they called her mouth a motor. Go look them up real quick. I hollered, baby. MJ definitely threw some shade on that track. Mouth of a motor. Basically
now I do. Yeah, I know that part is mouth the motor. It's just the part before that I thought was some different lyrics. That's just because I didn't know it. You know how when you little, you just be saying stuff and it don't make sense. So I never learned the accurate lyrics. But anyway,
and as we said earlier, that casual gossip, unfortunately, can often lead to picking fights as people tend to make assumptions and spread misinformation. For instance, some might overhear a conversation, like what we just explained, and assume that what they heard is the truth without verifying the information. They may then spread information to others, creating a chain reaction of gossip, and potentially it becomes harmful rumors. This can lead to various misunderstandings, because look how many misunderstandings you have, because you told this person, they told that person, and it's just a ripple effect.
Yeah, it's like the telephone game. You know how it starts off with one statement, but by the time it goes down the line, the whole statement will change to something totally different, because people saying the wrong thing and not knowing what they talking about.
Yeah, so y'all better tread lightly with dealing with people, because there are people in this world that will definitely be your butcher if you got beef. So y'all got to stop all of this. You know what? It's time to acknowledge the harsh reality. And it goes back to that casual gossip is a breeding ground for misunderstandings and hostility, and that it plays a significant role, Keita, in fueling fights and conflicts.
Yes, it does. Oh my goodness. I can't tell you back in like our high school days, how many fights or things got started from somebody saying something and something being inaccurate, or somebody creating a story because they want attention or want to put the attention on somebody else because they don't like them or they jealous of them, or just the root of some of that stuff is just crazy. Of, you feel this way about somebody, so you're gonna say something. Or if somebody say something about somebody you don't like and you just running with the story just because you don't like them, and it still may be untrue, and people have beefs or feeling about people, and then find out years later that something wasn't even correct, and you done held feelings towards this person, and it was something that they didn't even know nothing about.
And so the next time you feel tempted to spread those rumors or engage in such behavior, remember that it can have severe repercussions. So we should put an end to toxic practices once and for all, because let's just dead it. We too grown for that anyway. Because if you're listening to this podcast, you're grown enough to put a peaceful end to it. Just stop it.
Yep, put an end to the drama, honey.
So tell me your thoughts in regards to the idea that a resolution could possibly be accomplished by pick and fight. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
You said by picking a fight?
Like,
oh no, a resolution can't come from picking a fight at all. If anything, it just escalates and makes it worse. Now, some things that can bring about a resolution are putting down the facts.
Yes.
And talking things through and things like that. But no, a fight, that just escalates. And like I said, we see it on reality TV and stuff all the time. When they start their fight and then the fight carries on for how many episodes and keeps all that mess going, and then they got to bring it back up at the reunion and all that. That's why I stopped watching some of that stuff, because I was like, how is that pouring into somebody? How is that helping somebody? No, fights just kind of make it worse and deteriorate the good things that you could have had going, especially with working with others, especially other women. We should be trying to come together and do some stuff together, not worried about come together to talk about each other and put each other down, and then now we fighting and looking crazy. No, ain't nobody got time for that. Not when you really trying to be about your business and do stuff, and you can't be talking about I'm a boss and doing all this and that, but then you out here trying to fight. How does that look? That makes you look real, real crazy.
Yeah, because you know what? When it comes to resolving conflicts, I believe that picking a fight is not the most effective approach. And
Not
I
at
will
all.
say this: I have been in situations where sometimes, because I'm human, I have done everything in my power, but you just keep on poking the bear, and the bear just, sometimes I'm not saying and justifying and saying that it's right, but because I'm human and I'm gonna be transparent and tell you the truth, it's been sometimes I have tried to talk to people calm, nice, collective as I possibly can without throwing these hands. But some people have left me no choice.
And I'm glad, since I've been knowing you for years, none of that has happened recently, listener land. So
Yes.
don't think she out here throwing bows in the street.
No,
No,
I
that's not the
don't. I try
case.
to use my words more now.
Right.
But sometimes you get in
But
those, I
yeah,
want to talk
and
about
that's the
those
thing.
situations where, because I'm not going to make it sit up here like, oh, I've never done, like I'm just sitting on my high horse and coming on this
No,
podcast.
we've all
to
been
tell
in
you.
altercation
Yes.
before, but most of the time it was when we were younger, when that was our go-to. We didn't know any better. But like I said, once you are grown, you
Well, I
know.
don't know, because I'm grown, but you keep poking and, yeah.
But then there's still other things you can do
It's
first.
little things you can do, but some people deserve to get
And then-
choked. Okay, I got it.
I
Amy.
mean,
let me go back
don't let
to-
nobody run over you though.
Now, that's when
You have to defend
just,
yourself and take
yes.
care of yourself if it ever gets to that point. But hopefully you can solve situations without it getting to that kind of point where you have to physically do some things.
Yeah, but you know what? Conflict resolution requires a collaborative effort, Keita. Well,
Yeah.
all parties involved are
It
willing
has to be
work
a
together to
two-sided
find-
thing.
Yes, it's got to be mutually.
Now, because that just brought back a
Plus, baby.
flashback.
Mhm.
So, now this was some years ago, y'all. Yeah, before I was married. So anyway, in a particular relationship, I was in with someone, and that person, I guess, didn't like me because I was with whoever I was with at the time, and so they decided to try to bust my windows out on my car.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up, I'm trying to be grown because I in college then. Yeah, I was out of high school, so I had to be early years of college. So then I'm trying to be the one to kind of, all right, what am I gonna do? So I called the police, and they was like, because it didn't bust out my window, but it did like do some stuff to my car, and did some damage to my car, or whatever. So, the way they're handling, they trying to send us to a mediator and a mediating thing. And so I was willing to try to go with it because I at least, pay to get my car fixed since you done caused this damage over this dude or whatever that you claim you don't care nothing about them. Why you so pressed that you trying to do something to my car when I ain't got nothing to do with it?
Right.
So anyway, that person didn't want to participate in the mediation. So that was a case where I was trying to, take the peaceful route, and they wasn't trying to hear that, and they didn't want to go. So then they never showed up. So we had to take care of it in a different way.
Head buster style. What I'm trying to tell you, you gotta get busted upside the head a few times for them to leave people alone.
Right. So, but then that's why I said, but then it ended up coming back. So that's the thing that I was trying to get to. Long story short, is sometimes you still don't have to fight your battles. That if you trying to do the right thing, make the decisions, God will fight it for you and take care of it. And just so happened, Lord forbid, but then it happened like 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks later, the big tornado hit, and they car got damaged and tore up in the tornado. Okay. So I was like, if you would have, you know what I'm saying, the karma kind of get you way worse than something I could have done to retaliate for what you did to me. I was like, you lost your whole car. My car just had a dent in the trunk.
Sometimes I don't be wanting to bother God with that. I be like,
and
God,
I wouldn't.
Let me just
I was letting it go,
quick.
but
I'm just saying, I just gotta pop.
You never know what karma's gonna do, so that's why I said you gotta watch what you say and do to folks, because you don't know how it's gonna come back on you.
But sometimes I just be like, I don't got time to, involve God. God, I got this down here, gone, because you got bigger things to press. We got Helene and Milton to worry about. You go take care of them. I'll bop upside her head real quick. She'll be all right.
Well, no, I wasn't trying to do that. I'm trying to keep
God
my career.
God's still working on me. God's still working on me. See, I just be doing this for us. I'm like, God's still working on me. God's still working on me. Listen to land. Listen to land. God is still working on you, girl. But now I don't be out here with all that conflict. But don't get it twisted. Don't run up on me, baby. Because, baby, I be having flashbacks. But like I said,
In
that's
your
some.
words, don't poke the bear,
Don't
honey. Don't
poke the
poke the
bear,
bear.
baby. Please don't. Because she ain't took her, and I ain't took the meds today. Now, let me stop.
Girl. Next topic, honey.
Let me
Keep it
stop.
moving, honey.
You know what? But there's a difference between picking a fight and confronting an issue, like how you did. You just gave a good example, Keita, of you didn't pick a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Minding my own
violence
business.
today. Or that day, you didn't choose violence. Look at my girl. She's
I
so
try not
positive.
to. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
All right. Get you some positive
But don't get it
people in your
twisted.
life.
I'll defend myself if need be. But
See,
still.
that's what I'm talking about. We all have that, you know. I mean, mine might just come out a little quicker than others, but you know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just gonna be truthful with you, but I really have grown. I really have. I'm quick to try to use my words and not my hands.
You have, and I'm proud of you.
And sometimes I just walk away and I just be like, Keita, go get him. And I smile. I do my little Keita, go get him because I'm feeling
I
like,
watch the signals. Like I said, watch the body language, so I know, honey.
Because it's not gonna end too well. And I'm trying to be nice and look cute and pretty up here.
Right, we got careers. We trying to do some things.
Y'all trying to do a lot of things, and I have no business getting in trouble right through here. I got to keep it cute, boo.
Drama free.
I like that drama free. Now, we gonna keep talking about these picking fights because I really want y'all to get about picking fights. So what are your thoughts when it comes to picking fights versus confronting issues? Like, do you think, okay, let me add this to it. I'm gonna add a little twist. Okay, you know the state of the world right now. Everybody's just so angry. So keeping that in the forefront of your mind when I'm asking this question, what do you think or what are your thoughts when it comes to picking fights versus confronting issues? Why do you think people choose to I'm gonna pick this fight?
Some people that like I said, that's their go-to because they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to express how they feel or what's going on. So their quickest thing to go to is just to lash out and to do stuff. So in one of my trainings, because for y'all that don't know, I'm an educator. I've been working with youth for 20 some years now. But anyway, so one of my trainings we have to go through is we have to learn how to have hard conversations because sometimes we have to have those hard conversations about topics and issues. And it's like a whole protocol that you can follow that helps you deal with conflict or issues to keep it from escalating where so you go straight to fighting. Because sometimes, especially like I said, working in the education field, when a parent or a family member or another educator come to you with an issue, they are like highly escalated and ready to go there. And so you have to learn kind of how to
de-escalate the situation
by one, making sure you first are quiet and kind of hear the person. And then also kind of restate like what their issue is and what's going on. So that means to make sure that you're listening and listening to understand and not to just react and lash back out, because that's how a lot of these fights and stuff happen. And then also come with, if you are the one that's having to have the difficult situation or bring up the issue, then there's a way to do it. Like you can bring up by letting the person know like the importance of the relationship and why, like I said, say I'm talking to you and I'm like, Q, we've been friends forever and I really want us to continue to have a good friendship, but it's something I need to talk to you about. And then say, blah, 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 blah. This is the issue I'm having versus, look here, you got one more time to say this and this and that to me or it's going to be a problem. Then there was a big difference from me saying what I said at first to what I said. And it could be the exact same issue, but it's just how you say it and bring about the situation. And then in the end, coming back to the wanting the need for resolution. Like, here's the issue. This is what's going on. What is something we can do to keep this from happening again or to get some resolve and try to solve the problem? A lot of times with fights, you never get to the problem solving part of it. You always just get into it, escalating and turning into something else. Then somebody's hurt or somebody's feelings are hurt, and then you don't speak or
Yep.
see each other for years or however long or whatever. Versus really trying to get to the problem and what the cause of the problem is and a way you can kind of solve the problem.
Yeah, that's a lot of times that's what happens. Because think about it. Growing up, even you go back to preschool and kindergarten, you're not really taught how to de-escalate or deal with your emotions and your feelings when
Right.
it comes to stuff. And I can't even remember, and it's no shade to my parents, but I don't ever be in, if I'm thinking, y'all, just to make sure that I'm not yeah, I don't think.
Because I know I wasn't. I've just learned all this stuff
You just kind of dealt
recently
with
working with, because there are all these programs that are coming out now to try to help resolve these situations. So that's the only reason why I'm learning about it now that I'm grown.
Because
But,
like I really was going
yeah,
back in my mind at that moment when y'all heard that pause, because I don't think my mother ever
we
taught
didn't.
me
We didn't
that,
have those tools. So that's why we're trying to
those
learn
tools.
those tools and share them with kids now in school to kind of help them to learn and do.
And I was just curious because I was like, oh, listen, Land, y'all got to tap in the comments and let us know, did anybody ever teach you about these things? Because I really don't recall. I mean, once you get into it with somebody and like you go to the principal office, that's kind of where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you have siblings, you kind of get a little bit of it. Your mama say leave each other alone or whatever, but you're not really taught, how to deal with or how to tactfully come to a resolution. Think about it, by the time you go to the principal office, they calling your parents, you're either getting suspended or in school suspension or whatever the consequence is.
And then when you see that person again, it's back on because y'all ain't sat down and talked about nothing.
Yes, it's like nobody really showed you how to resolve those issues. But luckily now, like you said, as an educator, they're really trying to implement those tools to help you not only deal with the kids or help the kids deal with their drama, but for you all to be able to respond effectively to the parents.
Right.
Which is, I think that is awesome.
It's called restorative practices, y'all. Look it up. Restorative
practices, y'all. That's a word right there. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times I tell you, just stay away from the drama. I know sometimes we can't avoid it, but let's normalize not being the person bringing the drama. And let me give you a little grace out there. So if you out there listening, you're the person bringing the drama, let's start off by you slowly stop doing it. Because, I know bad habits, they're hard to break. And I'm not being judgmental, but I really want us to get back to a world where we're thriving and we're striving for excellence.
Yep. And we've all been involved with some kind of drama sometime in our lives. So we know what it's like. It's not like there's no judgment here. But the thing is, now that we're older and learning and knowing better, we want to do better. Use this time to focus on you. What are some things you want to do? Where are you trying to go instead of worrying about somebody else and what's going on in their house?
Yes. And like I said, I talk about this all the time. We all love a little key here and there. But sometimes you got to ask yourself, is that key worth you repeating? Is that key worth you going on social media, bringing it up, causing drama and dysfunction? And then you looking like, what I do?
Right. If it's not helping, then it's probably hurting. And the thing is, if you do hear something, what is a way you can handle it that will help the situation? Like if somebody does come to you with some mess, if you know the person or have a relationship with the person, talk and say, look, I heard this. You don't have to tell me none of your business, but if this is going on and you need help, here's something I can do to help you. Or I know this person, maybe they can help you, and see how we can help and move forward and not keep all this dividing. We need to be coming together so we can get some things done and make some things happen.
Yes. And that led me to think about something. Collaboration is key. A lot of these keys and stuff stem from people just being downright jealous or whatever.
Bam.
And like I said, the other person even know that you got beef or drama with them with your so-called, it's in your head.
Bam, there you go.
It's like you got psych issues because it's like it's in your head. You made that up. Like if you beefing with Kiana don't know you have to be like, what? I I didn't even know we had beef. I didn't even know the person felt like that.
Right.
Sometimes you got to put on your big girl pants and panties, and you just have to confront the situation. If you think that somebody has said something about you, and sometimes it's not even worth addressing.
Right.
But if it's bothering you, that's where I'm going with this. If it's bothering you, it's no need for you to be, every time you see somebody, you puffed up and mad, and the other person just living their life because they have no idea why you're mad at them.
Right.
It's like, okay, didn't even know. Yeah, I found out through such and such, but I don't even fool with that person like that. So how would I have beef with this person? I mean, I'm out here just doing me in my lane. You know, a lot of times we hear that. I'm in my lane, so how do I have haters? Because they're unhappy. We've heard this numerous times. They're unhappy with themselves.
Right. Most of the time it stems from a personal issue or someone feeling inadequate or, dealing with imposter syndrome, that they're not worthy or something, and then that leads to them feeling other kinds of ways. And it's all going back to when you begin to work on your relationship with yourself and start loving yourself and taking care of yourself, then you get to a point where you don't care what somebody got to say, especially if it ain't got to do with bringing money in your house or putting money in your pocket. It don't even matter. It's nothing worth addressing. So you really have to kind of watch those kind of situations and be mindful of what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, and try to do the work to help you get you moving forward. And saying something about somebody else or being in their business, if that ain't helping moving you forward or getting you where you're trying to go, then that ain't a conversation you need to be involved in. Excuse yourself and keep it moving.
And I want to address this. Back in the day, when we're talking about what we were taught back in the day, preschool or on up, we learned sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. I want y'all to know that words have power and they do hurt people. We were taught that long ago, but I don't think people realize that words really do hurt.
Yes, words have power, and that power can either make or break a situation. It can the words, not what you say about others, can damage that situation, and what you sometimes say about yourselves.
Yes.
Sometimes the drama can be within and what you dealing with, and if you are using those kind of words to yourself, you need to be mindful of that and stop that. We just need more love and to share more peace, and that all comes with one, loving yourself first. If you love yourself and value your relationship with yourself, then that will make your relationship with others get better.
It sure will. It definitely will. You have to start with you, because change starts within. Once you work on your inside, then it exudes outwardly. A lot of times we do not think that, but just try it. Once you start loving on yourself, guess what? You don't have time for anybody else because you're working on you.
And once you have some time experiencing a drama-free life and you get a sense of that freedom and that peace, it is nothing like it. Then you won't want to turn back.
Yes.
You won't. When people start coming to you with stuff, you going to want to go the other way because it's not feeding you anymore.
Nope. It's not serving you at all. It's just like if you're on a diet and you're used to consuming all of that bad food, but now you start this new diet, you on this new regimen, you on this plan, and you start eating healthy, you start drinking your water, you start
seeing the benefits in your body.
And once you start doing that, guess what? You don't even have a taste for that Big Mac, that Wendy's nuggets, all that
or
stuff,
that hot chicken, Lord.
That Princess hot chicken. You don't even desire it anymore, because guess what? You know you're on the right track to something better for your health. Think about it that way, people. If you keep all that negative energies like bad toxins into the body, let's talk about it, y'all. We're bringing that energy. And remember, I said energy is transferable. So sometimes it's not about the energy that you exude within, but it's about that transferred energy that you've consumed from those messy people that's in your circle. You might be like, I'm not messy, that's just them. But you're consuming a lot of that.
And then it'll have an effect on you. Then you start saying stuff, and it's, It'll
Yes.
change the whole direction of the conversation.
Yes.
And you could have been coming with the peace and positive, and then they start with the complaining, and then there it goes. Now you changing up. Well, I do feel this, or I did see them meeting up at the Waffle House and all that other kind of foolishness.
Right. But I give people what I call grace and space to be negative around me just a little bit. And I'm going to tell you why. Because at the end of the day, we're human. And I'm going to let you talk. You get it out. And the reason I think that's important is healthy. Because we're still human. But as they keep going, you got to be that positive. And like you said, you got to be the light. But let them
change
get
it around and turn it around.
When they're being negative and I'm not just saying negative where they're talking about somebody, but that negative self-talk to themselves. You got to be that voice of reasoning. You have to be the one that says to that person, you can't always think that way. I understand how you're feeling and what your life looks like at this point. But what if we start speaking this way or speaking life? Speak
life, yes.
So you don't always have to be starting something with somebody else. You can be starting something within. Ooh, y'all didn't hear that.
Or starting something positive to turn that thing around.
Yes, because this episode was about starting something and drama. But drama doesn't have to always be bad. Sometimes you can have good drama. Like when you just want to yell and tell somebody, woo, guess what happened to me? I was so blessed. I got this blessing. I call that good drama because you're on a high. You're like, whoo, yes, this happened. Mm-hmm. And people don't realize that we always want to take something and make it spin it negative. Well, we can just, come on, turn it down back a little bit with me. And we can make it positive.
That's right.
A lot of times we think we can't, but we really can.
Yep. Once again, it goes back to the power is your mouth. Yes, what you say and your thoughts.
The power of that tongue, baby.
Yes.
Yes.
It can heal or hurt.
Ooh, say that one more time. It can do what?
Heal or it can hurt.
Baby.
And we need some healing right now. With all this going on in the world, we need some healing.
Because this world, baby, is chaotic. We're in an election year. And everybody feels like they just, losing. Stuff is being said from, I'm not even going to put it on one party. It's just people out there just saying what they want to say. Just starting drama. And like I tell people, I don't tell you who to vote for. Your beliefs on that is your beliefs. But I will say, just be mindful of what you're spreading when it comes to your party. As Keita said before, is it hurting or is it helping somebody? And we always want to be on the side of the scale where it is helping somebody. We don't want to be on the side of the scale where it's weighing somebody down and tearing them down.
That's right.
Woo.
We're trying to build up and heal.
Build up and heal, baby. So, are there any closing remarks before we wrap this episode up, Keita, that you want to add?
No, let me, I don't even know why I said no. The thing is, if you are dealing with drama in your life, just know it is not too late to turn things around by one, focusing on you, focusing on the healing work that you may need to do within you so you can remove that drama from your life and turn things around so you can achieve your dreams and go where you're trying to go and do what you're trying to do. And also stop putting other people's name in your mouth. When you let go of that and not worrying about them and worrying about what's in your control, then that's when things can turn around for you. But if you got other people's name in your mouth and worried about them, then just know that wheel is going to get turned around on you, and you don't want that to happen because sometimes it could be way worse. So let's keep it drama free.
Keep it drama free.
Team No More Drama.
Yes, that's me, Team No More Drama all day, because I'm looking to the hills from which my help coming from, baby.
All right, don't get a preacher in here now.
I ain't gonna preach. I'm just telling them I'm to the point. I'm looking for the hills. I'm looking towards some things
that's right.
I'm trying not to look on that side over there of that drama. You gotta sometimes look
No,
up.
it's way better what's
Yes.
ahead. So
What's ahead?
let's focus
Thank
on
you.
what's ahead, not
Focus
in
on
that
what's
rear view
ahead.
mirror.
Because, baby, sometimes that rear view mirror can get you tripped up, tangled up, and tied up in the wrong
That's
stuff.
how accidents occur. Looking the
Yes.
wrong way.
As I keep pointing, take your butt forward. Quit going back. Quit with all the drama. Just stop all the drama. Well, that was an episode, y'all. If you're new, please subscribe. And for the rest of you, leave us some. Oh, we want everybody to leave us some comments. Don't make sure that you're sharing with your people and tell them how amazing the I Am Counting Skills podcast is.
And share away how you stay drama free. Leave it in the comments.
Yep. Let us know. Let us know. Real talk. Drama does not just walk into your life. Either you create it or associate with it. I'm going to say that one time for the people way in the back. Drama does not just walk into your life. Either you create it or associate with it. Hey ladies, ready to elevate your style game? From timeless classics to the hottest trends, we've got something for everyone. Visit theclosetexperience.com and save 10% today with code PODCAST. That's PODCAST. Theclosetexperience.com. What's in your closet? Theclosetexperience.com. What's in your closet? Be sure to use code PODCAST, PODCAST, and save that 10%. Theclosetexperience.com. What's in your closet?